Do the numbers just speak for themselves, or is there some kind of other motive for the filing at this time, Joey?
No correlation at all, Mike. You kidding? I'm being sarcastic, obviously.
100 million each fight.
I would think close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a mother. He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry.
Floyd writes on his Instagram, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, especially when it comes to the media in this country.
Floyd Mayweather, once boasting career earnings exceeding $1.2 billion, is now reportedly facing financial ruin, according to new shocking reports from CNN. Despite showcasing luxury jets, mansions, and million-dollar watches, insiders claim that Mayweather's reckless spending, failed business ventures, and mounting legal fees have severely impacted his finances. Sources reveal that the boxing legend is quietly selling assets to pay off debts, and some even suggest that bankruptcy could be imminent.
Everything ends up this way. Well, everything does end up this way because people are surrounded by other people who make 10%, 20%, 5% on what the other guy brings home. So people are incentivized to push people to keep scaling and keep going and all eat when you eat. But I think it's very important for people to stand up and say, you know what? I don't think this thing needs to be that big. I don't think the valuation needs to get here.
Floyd Mayweather once stood at the peak of wealth in sports, reportedly earning over $1.2 billion through prize fights, endorsements, and appearances. However, just as quickly as the money came in, it was wasted. Rather than investing wisely or ensuring long-term financial security, Mayweather lived as though his wealth would never dry up. Lavish purchases, from gold-plated jets to entire fleets of supercars, defined his everyday life. His obsession with being the richest, most flashy figure in sports ultimately overtook any financial discipline. The very habits that earned him the nickname money have now brought him to the brink of financial disaster.
He's up there, bro. He's probably got to be at least 400 million. I mean, some of the purses from his fights are like 100 million each fight.
I would think close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a. He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry. Have you seen like videos of his jewelry?
Yeah, some crazy. Let me see. Let me see what his net worth is. Mayweather net worth.
Them Googles be lying though. Huh?
They be lying? You think?
I think so. It's probably not accurate. I mean,
let's see what they say. You are. I mean, exactly what you said. It says an estimated $450 million.
Yeah.
Richest boxer in the world. It's a lot of money.
Mayweather made headlines not only for his undefeated record, but for the astronomical paydays that accompanied his fights. His bout with Manny Pacquiao reportedly netted him over $150 million, and his exhibition match with Conor McGregor generated similar amounts, often touted as the highest paid athlete in the world. Mayweather didn't treat this income as a means for building lasting wealth. Instead, he used it to fuel a lifestyle of extravagance with massive parties, private jets for his entourage, and million-dollar gambling binges becoming the norm.
Floyd Mayweather, the highest paid athlete, not the highest paid boxer, the highest paid athlete in the world. I had the opportunity and pleasure to be around him for many years. I was his personal shopper. I was a personal friend of his family. One of my greatest memories of being just lucky enough to even be around that environment was watching him train. Watching Floyd Mayweather train is a masterclass in discipline. It is a masterclass in work ethic. It is a masterclass in this is how you execute and get stuff done. Every rep, he hits it hard. There's not one lazy rep. He does everything at such a high frequency, so elevated. I'm like, goodness gracious, watching this man train, it's like, that's how I want to train for life. I've been to the club with Floyd where we leave in the club 3, 4 in the morning and he's still going to hit his 6 miles. He'll have all the cars follow him and he's running down the Las Vegas Strip, down back streets.
Floyd's financial issues have extended beyond reckless spending. His name has appeared in numerous legal controversies, often tied to questionable business endeavors. In 2022, he was involved in a class action lawsuit connected to a cryptocurrency scheme accused of being a pump and dump. Although the case was dismissed, it highlighted his tendency to engage in hype-driven ventures without proper oversight. The situation worsened in 2024 when another lawsuit arose, this time for allegedly instructing his bodyguard to assault a man. The victim sought over $3 million in damages, further exposing Mayweather's volatile and risky financial decisions.
How do you explain all that? How did that happen in your life?
What things happen? You know, I had 3 children with a young lady. we wasn't seeing eye to eye. You know, we wasn't seeing eye to eye. You know, she was a little upset, had a little alcohol in her system. She was a little edgy, and I told her, you know, basically I needed the keys to my truck. She was upset. She didn't want me to take the keys to the truck. So things got out of hand and blown out of, you know, they blow things up bigger than what things are really made out to be. So things happen.
But nevertheless, you had to do 2 months, right?
Yeah, I did 2 months for a misdemeanor, yes.
So what is it like to have everything and then not have freedom?
That's what I come to find out. Freedom is very important. Freedom is very, very important. And I'm just, you know, I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to be back, you know, in my children's life.
Joe Rogan never wanted to hold back, publicly criticized Mayweather's apparent disregard for tax obligations. Rogan warned that no matter how wealthy someone is, failing to pay taxes invites serious trouble with the IRS, and he's right. Many wealthy individuals have fallen into financial ruin due to neglecting taxes. Rogan pointed out that Mayweather's extravagant lifestyle could be hiding a deeper financial instability. The pattern Floyd seems to be following isn't a new one.
He owed that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money. There's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats.
Mike Tyson, who earned hundreds of millions during his boxing prime, famously declared bankruptcy after years of reckless spending. Tyson's assets included tigers, mansions, and a gold bathtub. Now, it seems Mayweather is following the same destructive playbook. Just like Tyson, Mayweather flaunts his cars, jewelry, and homes. But behind the scenes, his finances seem to be in turmoil.
It's your main man, Made Man, back at it again. And y'all know how I get down over here. We talking boxing. Now, I am fresh off watching episode 1 of the All Access of the upcoming fight between Floyd Money Mayweather and Marcos Maidana. Now, a lot of people may have gotten a lot of things from watching that episode. You know, it was real flamboyant. We seen Floyd Mayweather tossing his money around as always, talking about the Miss Jackson situation. We seen Marcos Maidana looking focused, more so focused on his baby and everything. So those are a lot of the minor takeaways. But my major takeaway from this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, is I was quickly hit with a emotion of nostalgia. You know what I mean? Because seeing Floyd Mayweather with all this money and cars and clothes and hoes and yada, 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 it just kind of reminded me. There was a small segment in that episode that stated that a lot of fighters believe in their immortality. You know what I mean? We've seen this before. So the question I asked, we have seen this movie before. Boxers traditionally going broke. You know, they start off well, so flamboyant with all this money and all these cars, and they have businesses they invest in. They're something special, you know, at least in their minds they are. And then after either retirement or near retirement or after the fight game has left them, traditionally boxers go broke, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying this is going to happen to Floyd Mayweather, but I swear on everything, man, I hope it doesn't happen to Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather is going to go down in the halls of history, ladies and gentlemen, as possibly top 3 to top 5 to top 10 of all-time greats. I mean, depending on how you view Floyd Money Mayweather. But however, he is definitely the #1 boxer of my era, ladies and gentlemen, of my time on this earth of watching the sport of boxing. No one has the skill set of Floyd Money Mayweather. Carve it up, chop it up how you like. Get on the debate about his opponents, all this other crap. We can have that for another video. But this man is going to go down in history as an all-time great without a doubt. And I understand the argument for those who may even present the argument that he's the #1 greatest of all time. I see valid points in that argument. I don't agree with that, but I see valid points in that argument. This is a great boxer. We are going to miss Floyd Money Mayweather when he leaves the sport, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact remains,
Ironically, Mayweather has frequently spoken about financial strategy, even mentioning a buy low, sell high approach to his real estate investments. However, his actions contradict his words. While no one questions Mayweather's boxing brilliance, his defensive skills, timing, and fight IQ have cemented him as one of the greatest athletic talent do not always translate into financial wisdom. His sharp focus and discipline in the ring sharply contrast with his impulsiveness outside it.
People hate consistency when it comes to teams that you don't like and not a fan of, and they constantly win all the time. The Patriots went through the same thing. Small example. I'm going to just take boxing, for instance.
Right.
Floyd.
Yes.
Everybody loved when Floyd was winning early in his career.
Yes.
But when he kept winning,
yes,
he became the villain.
Yes.
And then everybody paying in and tuning in to see him lose.
Right.
That's it. He became the villain.
Even Mayweather's own uncle, Jeff Mayweather, has criticized his financial decisions in a candid interview. Jeff admitted that he no longer understands Floyd's erratic behavior, especially his chaotic investment choices. Floyd seems to jump into business ventures without a clear strategy, motivated more by ego than logic. His huge real estate claims raise eyebrows among experts, who understand the risks associated with such markets.
I have no idea. I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily see Floyd very much, so we don't really get a chance to talk very much, and so I don't really know what's going on with him. I know he's doing things that, to better his life, like, buying homes and buying, different things. And so, I don't know exactly what he's doing. So, I haven't seen him in quite some time. And, I haven't heard about him talking about doing any more exhibitions. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, I don't know. But I haven't heard anything.
I know that KSI's team would be happy to make their fight with him.
Floyd's ongoing conflict with the IRS is a glaring warning sign. Federal authorities reportedly advise him to sell his properties and pay off his tax obligations, a move that would have been crucial to avoid financial ruin. Ignoring such advice when the IRS starts seizing assets is a clear indicator of poor financial management. Floyd's failure to proactively address his tax debt has only worsened the situation.
At least that fact reporting. You guys all seen the headline saying Mayweather needs money, Mayweather has problems, Mayweather needs Conor McGregor. Well, the truth couldn't be further. Let me tell you, Floyd Mayweather just posted this on his Instagram, and I know it's true because anyone who was around Floyd Mayweather back after the Pacquiao fight in 2015 saw Mayweather with the $26 million paycheck for the IRS. And this is what Floyd writes on his Instagram. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, especially when it comes to the media in this country. While everyone is counting my money and assuming the worst, these are the facts. Uncle Sam received $26 million from me in 2015. What else could they possibly want? I'm sure I would have been notified much sooner if there were any real discrepancies, right? Bottom line, everybody just wants to be part of the Money May show, including the IRS. That's fine. You can crunch numbers all day, but in the end, my empire is rock solid and intact. Now calculate that. #TMT, #Floyd Mayweather, #TBE.
Eventually, Floyd addressed the tax rumors by revealing that he had paid $26 million to the IRS. However, rather than clearing up doubts, the announcement raised more questions. Was that the full amount owed? Was it delayed? The timing of the announcement seemed more about damage control than transparency, leading some critics to believe that the payment was simply a public relations tactic to quiet growing speculation.
To them by showing on Instagram $26 million, a payment he made to the IRS. By the way, nothing makes your tax payment look shadier than when you're just holding up cash.
Right.
That's not a good look for the IRS. But he showed his actual, $26 million. They just pay him. Like, I don't know why, like, he's mad at the media. It's like, oh, you guys are making things up. No, it's leaked that you asked to pay after this fight. Like, you make all this money. If I was Mayweather, not only would I pay them on time, the IRS, I'd tip them. I'd be like, hey, here's what I owe you. Here's a little bit. Get your woman something nice. All right? How was Christmas for your kids? Oh, you Jewish? Convert just for this Christmas. Here, take care of it.
Despite facing numerous lawsuits and financial warnings, Mayweather recently claimed he invested $40 million into real estate, purchasing 60 buildings in Manhattan with his own funds, while he emphasized that no outside partners were involved. Critics have raised doubts about the credibility of this claim. The timing and scope of the purchase appear exaggerated, especially considering his other financial troubles.
$2 million. This substantial investment was made through his real estate firm, Vada Properties, and is intended to expand his portfolio in New York City real estate market. Mayweather has expressed that this purchase holds significant personal meaning, reflecting his humble beginnings and desire to provide affordable housing options. He stated, growing up, I used to dream about owning just one home by myself. When you work hard, you can achieve anything. However, it's important to note that while Mayweather has announced this acquisition, some reports suggest that property records do not yet confirm a transfer of ownership. Experts speculate that he may have acquired a minority stake with options for future expansion.
Instead of inspiring confidence, Mayweather's statement has only fueled skepticism. If true, it could indicate reckless overextension. Mayweather's obsession with material possessions, including luxury cars, designer watches, and gold chains, is arguably his most damaging trait. Every extravagant purchase contributes to a lifestyle he can no longer afford. Insiders report that he consistently spends more than he earns, month after month, and when these purchases come with enormous tax liabilities, the situation worsens.
Floyd Mayweather is about to pay $2 billion to purchase a sports team and may never have to pay taxes again. The tax code offers these super wealthy so many methods to erase their income through deductions, and none is better than purchasing a sports team. Buying a sports team is like buying a unicorn real estate property. The value is always going to go up, the owner is going to make money, but on their tax return, they're going to use a strategy to report that they're losing money. See, the owner is actually allowed to write off the entire cost of the sports team against future income. This will allow Floyd to pay less in taxes. It's called amortization, which is very similar to depreciation. But if Floyd ever decides to sell the team, then the taxes will be owed. Who cares then? Because the taxes he was supposed to pay during those years, he's going to take that money, reinvest it for personal profit. See you, Floyd. Hit your boy up if you need help with taxes. My name is Duke, and I make taxes very easy to understand. Give me a follow to stay educated.
Nothing highlights Mayweather's obsession with spectacle more than his recent trip to Mexico, where he traveled in an armored tank, while most people opt for luxury SUVs or private jets. Mayweather took it to absurd extremes. This wasn't about practicality, it was about drawing attention. While such stunts might create viral moments, they also showcase a man completely disconnected from financial reality.
Then they got Floyd Mayweather, like,
well, I don't say kidnapped, but you know, you got your passport taken. You can't come and leave when you want to go, but he ain't in jail, so
okay.
He's out in a 6-star hotel being Floyd, so I guess it ain't that bad, but we'll see. We're gonna watch and see like everybody else.
That's crazy. I mean, when you think of Money Mayweather, you thinking like Floyd may have like $1 billion or something.
He did. He made $1 billion plus. Floyd made a lot of money. And I don't really know Floyd's business, so I'm not going to speak on Floyd's business, but Floyd's very, very, as the world knows, he's money made, very flashy. Look, man, you know, we both made some real money, but you know, you start burning through, you make $2-3 million a year, you burning through $100,000 a month. You ain't really got that much money.
Shit, he probably spending way more than that.
No, I'm talking regular dudes. We say we made $3 million, we burning through $100,000 a month. We really don't got no paper like that saved
that's
up.
A fact.
So even if he's making $100 million, if he's burning through $5, $6, $7 million a month, you still got taxes, you still got responsibilities. So I don't know nobody's bag, but you know, me and you, we never count nobody's paper. So
not at all.
I hope he got $10 billion. I hope he get out of this problem.
That's a fact, because you would figure he should be able to just cash him out, like whatever the tab is, you know, he should be able to wire that.
Yeah, I think he could do that with no problem. I think he got all the money in the world. I think they may not want it.
Mayweather's watch collection, valued at millions of dollars, is another example of his compulsive need to flaunt wealth. Social media is filled with posts showing rows of diamond-studded timepieces, each one more extravagant than the last. While fans may admire the glamour, financial experts view these purchases as wasteful. Watches like these don't appreciate in value, they depreciate the moment they are bought.
I need you guys to watch me talk about my watches. Right here, I got 3 cases. And they're all full with watches. So when I travel, I like to take, you know, if I'm going for 45 days, I like to take 45 watches with me. I like to have options. So everybody's always asking me, what's your favorite watch? Well, one of my favorite watch brands is Avi & Co. As you can see right here, I got this a few months back, and it's one of my favorite watches. One of the best brands in the world. That's just my personal opinion. I like the brand so much, I went and bought another watch just yesterday, Avi & Co. As you can see, Avi & Co. Now, let's talk about watches. Let's talk about jewelry. Let's talk about a few things. I need you guys to watch me talk about my watches. So we'll set this to the side. Now, we want to give the people an appetizer or something light. So we give you 2 appetizers, then we give you a main course. Just a few watches that I got while I travel. So check this out. We're going to go here first. And of course, the company is Avi & Co. Crazy company. Now, I need you guys to come closer and check this out. So let me come to you guys.
When it comes to business, Mayweather's reputation is as questionable as his spending habits. His focus has always been on profit rather than principle, leading him into ventures fraught with controversy, from dubious cryptocurrency schemes to failed promotions. His business portfolio is a mess of impulsive choices. Financial sustainability requires structure, ethics, and planning qualities Mayweather has consistently failed to demonstrate. As doubts about his ability to manage money continue to grow, so does the fear that his empire is collapsing under its own weight. If he doesn't change course soon, he risks being remembered not just as a great boxer, but as a billionaire who lost it all.
Yeah. I think it was like a $5 or $8 million 5-fight deal or something like that. You have to check the numbers, but he turned that down to start his own promotion. And when he was with HBO, he worked out that deal to do the 24/7 where you can see the behind the scenes. That was right around the time when reality TV was getting big. So you didn't have social media then. People began to build and know Floyd off of the 24/7. I can tell you right now, my wife even became a boxing fan from watching the 24/7s. So the timing of him becoming his own boss, which you're going to make the majority